I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way you
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video. And guys, today we just got done watching Riverdale. Today was Riverdale Day. This was episode 16. This was a very, I feel like in this episode we got more of the best of both worlds of every single character. And, this is, going after the fact that, we just ended with Josie leaving and the Pussycats and they're going on tour.
Tony having her baby.
Which I heard a lot in the comments of last week's video. Not many people liked that episode because of, a lot of the Pussycat stuff people didn't like, and also with Tony having her baby in the diner and everything. So a lot of people didn't like that episode. I thought it was one of the best episodes, if I'm being honest, since we've been back on break. I feel like this is that was the best episode, if I'm being honest. But I really, really enjoyed today's episode. I liked how we got a little bit more of Archie trying to him trying to deal with the fact of, him, losing his, platoon in war. Him trying to deal with that. Him trying to get justice for his platoon by taking, what was it?
General,
I forget what his name, the General something, his general, to pretty much, make him, not, not make him step down, with, I guess...
I think it was General Jim Taylor, something like that.
Jim Taylor, and
yeah.
He was, stepping down from him being, the general.
Yeah.
But they didn't want him having honors because he pretty much sent Archie's platoon knowing that they would get taken out and no one would survive.
Yeah.
So they didn't want him, retiring with honors. They wanted him just to, retire, step down. So he pretty much puts him on trial, and pretty much they end up being successful. And that was, the way of, him, getting pretty much, getting justice for his platoon, and them dying, and them sacrificing, and them pretty much sacrificing themselves, for the country, but also, but the general just didn't care and put them up for slaughter, knowing that they wouldn't survive. So, Archie fought the good fight, and pretty much, we see his platoon all pretty much, him pretty much, have it, pretty much, putting them to rest and being able to move on and not be, traumatized by him feeling like it was his fault. And I felt like that was a good way to end that storyline. I felt like it was okay. A part of me felt like it was a little rushed, but I understand why they probably don't want to keep going with that, because it's very... I don't know, it's very, in a way, it's it's sad, and I understand why they didn't want to keep having him go through that through the entirety of this season. So they ended it off okay, you got justice, but part of me feels like there's probably more than meets the eye with that. I feel like it's too good to be true, so who knows, but at the same time, I feel like it did get resolved. I'm wondering if we're going to get any more of his trauma that he's going through. We probably will throughout the season. I'm not sure. But I feel like it's over now because I feel like we've done it for a while now. But I feel like, in a way, it just started in the second part since we've been back. His trauma. So I don't know where we're exactly going with this storyline going forward. Except the fact that, there's going to be a lot going on in next week's episode, which I can't wait to talk about, but also going on with, Cheryl, and I'll let my sister talk about, what's going on with Cheryl.
Cheryl's in some crazy shit, I'm going to say that right now, because she's, how, Kevin kind of, cut her hands this episode.
Yeah.
She had bees on her hands. She's just...
She made water into maple syrup.
She's just, and then Penelope... She was stop, and fire shot up. So, is there magic? I
think there's magic, and people have been telling me that, and since they mentioned Eldritch terrors, I was like, yeah, their magic is coming to Riverdale.
I think that, and I agree with you, you said how you think Penelope has the magic, but Cheryl and Kevin don't.
I thought originally... I said maybe Cheryl has magic because of her paintings and her being able to do, tell stories, but how she's not there and she doesn't talk to people, so how would she know? But I'm gonna be honest. Like, I thought it was just trickery that Kevin was doing because Kevin said he was good with, like, using props and everything and making magic look real. I was like, okay, you're doing really well, but a lot of it looked real to the point I'm like, you're actually doing this, Cheryl? Like, what's happening? Is this you actually doing this, or is this Kevin? But the bee thing was her actually doing it. That's what's crazy. Because he even said, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have anything to do with that. Like, what did you do? And she's like, I didn't use anything on my hands. I think something awakened in me. I'm like, oh, great.
I had no oil on any part of my body.
Yep. Which made... I can't believe they're doing this. I wanted this for the longest time because I want that crossover. I want it. I want it so much. A crossover with Sabrina and Riverdale. That needs to happen. It needs to happen. I'm hoping that Cass will come back of that show and they could do this. I don't know what they'll fight, what they'll do, but I would love a crossover. I would love it. And I feel like that's the only place we can go with magic being involved now. And the question is, she considers herself a saint because of her awakening that she's had.
Yeah, apparently Penelope's on something. She's on crack or something. And she thinks Jason told her I'm not saying.
I'm going to be honest. I think Penelope's got magic too. She was able to... Everybody caught it when she said something, fire shot up. She is definitely involved with magic in a way. I'm telling you, ever since she's come back, she's been enlightened in a way, and she's had these powers that we're seeing now. I'm gonna be honest. I think she has a little bit of magic in her herself. I feel like maybe that's been in their family all that time, especially on Nana Blossom's side, because Nana Blossom always be on that creepy shit. Yeah. So I feel like she always had maybe like it was like that was in her family tree, and that's how Cheryl has it. And
is Nana Blossom Penelope's mom, or is she Clifford's mom?
I think she's Penelope's mom. I don't think it's Clifford's mom. No. I don't think so. Guys, let me know down in the comments below. You guys might know more than I will, but
is either way, Penelope's mom, or is she?
I'm gonna say Penelope because.
Or is she Cheryl's dad, Clifford's mom?
Yeah, because Clifford wasn't about it. He had no magic, and I'm thinking they have big spirits, Penelope and Cheryl, and I feel like that comes from Nana Blossom's like side of the Penelope's side of the family. So I'm thinking,
look at that.
Yeah, so which I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go with that. I'm excited to see what interesting things they can do with that, because I feel like it's still ground level of like, it's so, I'm not seeing enough magic to be like, okay, where's the magic in Riverdale? We really haven't seen it. We've seen some creepy things. We've seen Griffins and Gargoyles. That's the only thing really that was like out of like the world in a way, and also like this whole alien thing we got in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But it's like now I'm thinking to myself, we really need something big to really open the world. Like, everybody's got to know that there's magic involved. Like, I want Archie and all of them to know that it's there and everything, and we have to really see it. Because when we watch Sabrina, we really feel magic in the air. We know, we feel it. I'm waiting. Sabrina. Yeah, she hasn't watched it, but I loved it.
But there was this show on Nickelodeon years ago.
Yeah, the original Sabrina.
The original Sabrina that I did watch.
Yeah. But those are two different tones. Like, you want actual witch stuff, you get that in the new Sabrina show on Netflix. Like, that's gritty, down to the ground. Witchcraft. I want that feeling. If you're gonna do a crossover, we need to get that feeling going at some point. If not this year, hopefully in the beginning of next year, and then maybe that could be like, maybe that they're setting it up to get to that next season, and maybe they'll film with a crossover in next year's season, in season 6, in season 6. So I'm just excited to see.
Yeah, because Russ is on tour right now. So
yeah. So I'm thinking maybe it could be like a scheduling thing they'll work out next season for them to come on as in a crossover. But we get next year, maybe we get a little bit of a feeling in the beginning of like witchcraft in the air and like magic in the air. I just want that you have to set the world of Riverdale, the town of Riverdale, to really feel like, okay, that the Sabrina cast could walk in there, and it's not too out of the norm. So I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. And
they've had the girl from Sabrina in Riverdale.
Yeah, they had, I was for their name. Someone said it.
Is it Agatha?
Yeah. I think someone said that. Yeah. Agnes. I think it was, Agnes. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Cheryl going forward. I'm excited to see where Archie's going to be going, because I feel like that's kind of like his his trauma storyline kind of closed, and I'm wondering if like what else can they really do with that. I feel like we're really focusing now maybe him taking down Hiram, because that's what we really started with to begin with this season, was all them like him calling the gang back together to save Riverdale. So I feel like we're kind of getting back to those roots, but they've kind of been there, sprinkled there, you know, with Veronica still trying to do stuff there. She's still in town. Betty's still in town. Jughead's still in town, but they're like not doing their jobs in the school anymore that they signed up to do it to begin with. So it's kind of like, how are you saving Riverdale if you're not in the jobs you like at the school that you signed up for to save Riverdale? It's like I miss that tone.
Not doing his writing class.
Yeah, Archie's
not doing.
And Archie and Betty aren't in the. Archie's still doing stuff with the
ROCT.
Yeah, ROCT. He's still doing that. So, but Betty really hasn't been in the mechanic department. Yeah.
And Veronica hasn't been doing her business
or auto body or whatever, auto body, whatever she was doing.
And Veronica hasn't been doing her business classes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering where is that? Where's
Kevin.
that? Kevin. Yeah, he's not really not doing any more drama. Yeah. Since he's been really a part of Cheryl's, in a way it's a cult, but I guess.
And he has a baby, so.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Her group.
Yeah, and he has a baby.
And he had the baby, so I mean, I don't know. It's like there's a lot that I'm like, I want them to get really back on track with them trying to save Riverdale, but I feel like that's what we're doing in next week's episode with, you know, them being trapped in the mines. I guess Archie is, and maybe, I don't know if like everybody else is, like Sweet Pea, and actually no, Sweet Pea went like Josie.
Yeah.
So all that's really there is Fangs could be in there, Kevin could be in there, Archie, and I think and then maybe Archie's grandfather or
Uncle
Frank, yeah.
Guys, I told Zach this. I really think this is what's happening. Tell me, do you think Jughead is starting to look like Sweet Pea a little bit? Because I can see him looking like Sweet Pea a little bit.
She said that Jughead's been looking like Sweet Pea. I feel like Jughead's like going back to his roots. With him riding his motorcycle again, with him, you know, doing voiceovers. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care for that character, but I missed his voiceovers, him doing stuff like that.
If they bring back that damn beanie,
I said the only thing we need now is the beanie, and I think there's gonna be an episode, if not probably at the end of the season, they're gonna open that time capsule, and he's gonna get his beanie back. I'm calling it. It's going to happen at some point in this episode, probably. That beanie's coming back. I bet you. I bet. Because it's been those years now. I bet you that time capsule's coming up in any moment in this episode, in this season. And he's going to get his beanie back. And then Betty will probably get a barrette back. And everybody, I think she had a barrette she put in there. Or a bobby pin or something. And I just feel like everybody's going to get their stuff back, probably. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm excited. I'm excited to see... You know, Jughead get back on track, because I mean, I don't know, I really haven't been liking Jughead ever since he's been back. He's been out of the norm, out of his element, and I miss the way he was before. So I'm excited to see how he'll get back to like him wanting to write, him wanting to be that person, narrator. I miss him being that, so hopefully he'll get back to that at some point. Also, you know, Betty being obsessed when they had that moment with, you know, Jughead was talking to Betty, and Betty was like she's like, I'm obsessed with, you know, finding the TBK and hunting down, you know, the Lonely Highway Killer. Like, I'm obsessed. So, like, and I feel bad. I feel bad for Betty that she thinks that it's normal for her and she feels comfortable hunting down killers and being involved, you know, like, you know, investigating killers than she does talking to normal people and making friends. I feel really bad for her, and that's why she needs that window in the darkness. She needs Archie. I'm sorry. I really want. It annoys me. I wish Archie would have fought a little bit more. But like, I want to be here, and you won't snuff out my light. I want to be your light. I could be the light for both of us. Like, I want to be here with you. I wish you would have fought for it, because they're such a great couple, and I'm hoping it happens at some point. We got a little bit of it last episode, and then they kind of just ignored it. I understand it was like, they were all gathered together as friends again, and, you know, they of course, they were on each other and all that stuff, but I feel like, you know, I don't like how the writers tease us like this. It's like, I don't want them to keep doing this with us. Also, I'm not gonna lie, like, did Jughead forget? Like, people told me that Tabitha and Jughead were on each other in last week's episode, And that's true. And they act like they weren't even, like, all over each other, but they were. Some people ask me, are they dating now? And I'm like, I would assume so. And now they're acting like they weren't dating and they weren't all over each other. Because when he had the moment where he's like, I'm sorry, this, and that. And she's like, oh, I've been worried about you. And he's like, I'm sorry, I've been gone. I've been MIA. He's like, he said, I'm sorry, I've been MIA. But literally, they just hung out. So, did the writers that's what makes me, sometimes I feel like the writers don't think things straight. Did they forget they were just with each other, like, the other day? Because he's like, she's acting like she hasn't seen him in forever, but they just saw each other, like, yesterday. Like, yesterday. So, it's like, what's happening? It's like the writer, I feel like sometimes the writers don't sometimes miss those steps. That's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why are they acting like that he just got back?
Yeah.
Or like, and same when he was talking to Betty, and he's acting like he just got back, and they didn't just talk in last week and like yesterday, because they did. So it's like I hate that. It's like they just were around each other. Why are we acting like he's just coming back to Riverdale talking to them when he was literally just there, and they were just doesn't make sense. I'm just like.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like the writers be slipping. I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting. That's to say the least. I don't know. This second part, I'm having a hard time really enjoying as much as the first part. That's for sure. But I did like how Veronica finally put Chadwick in his place.
Yeah. That was good.
That was good to see that. How she finally put Chadwick in his place.
They divorced.
And like ruined his, I guess, aircraft whatever, his helicopter club thing or something he was making.
I said Veronica did
his business, and she was able to get those documents out there of how he crashed the helicopter or some shit, or so that was funny.
He's an airplane crash.
So that was funny.
Something.
Because he's an ass. I don't think this is the end we'll see of him. He's definitely gonna be, especially how pissed Hiram is. They're both gonna want to get revenge on Veronica. Cause I love how they took his palladium and then they gave him like fake rocks. Like it was like dirt clods and they were just crumbling in his hands. And he thought it was his palladium. Sucker. That's what you deserve. That's so funny to me. He deserves it. And how he's like insane in this next week's episode. He's pretty much trapping everybody in the mines. And Veronica said if Archie dies, I'm like she said I'll kill you or something, or I'll do something, or which I don't know. Veronica always gives her dad threats, and she never follows through on it, and she ends up running back to her dad. So I'm not holding my breath with her.
Well, that's
but that's all I have to really say about the episode. It was a pretty good episode. I liked it. I liked it a lot better than all the other ones. I do like the Josie one still. I think it was nice to get some familiar
faces.
Yeah, faces, and something that gets us up on our feet a little bit. I don't know. I liked last week's episode, and I liked today's episode. It was pretty good.
I liked last week's episode.
But I'm excited to see next week's episode because Cheryl was praying at the entrance of the mine using her powers. So should be interesting. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. We're almost to 400 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. Join this family. This family is growing each and every day. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation, and we would just love to have you guys here. I do a whole bunch of other videos for people that are just seeing this video, so go check out the channel. I have a lot to offer here on this channel. Mm-hmm. But guys, that was the video. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. So I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Peace.